This is going to be a short video on Resolve's human guided capability. So I'm going to raise a new incident and we want to see how Resolve can aid us in accelerating the time it takes to resolve this particular incident. So based on the context, I may have to enter certain fields within this particular ITSM tool. Now, bear in mind that although I'm using ServiceNow, I could just be using any other tool and Resolve would be perfectly fine with it. So here I have, let me enter my short description. So I've entered the details and I have raised an incident and this is my incident. So now I'm going to play the role of an L1 agent who has been assigned an incident and let's see how Resolve would guide him and lead him and shorten the time it takes for him to resolve this particular incident. Now, what Resolve has done is that based on the fields that was populated while creating the incident, it has carried out some underlining automation scripts wherein it has added those things into the activity section of Resolve. But the best way to resolve this would be to let Resolve guide us as we try to resolve this particular incident. So there is a button known as guided resolution. And as an L1 agent, I would like Resolve to guide me. So I would click that button and hereafter Resolve will take over. It would try to find out the context of the underlying failure point and it would try to collate information and present it to me in a manner wherein I can make my decisions at a faster pace. Now, typically we are all used to knowledge articles which are very static in organizations, but here Resolve would present me with a resolution dashboard which is dynamic because it is based on the underlying data that has been collated by Resolve. So as you can imagine, a web server or when you say applications web application is down, the failure points could be multiple. It could be at the very beginning in the tier one layer, as in the app web server or the application layer, or it could be at the middleware layer, or it could be at the backend, or it could be along the network. So a lot of things, a lot of area to be covered in terms of expertise, which typically an L1 agent may not be equipped enough. But if you look at this particular resolution dashboard that Resolve has gathered and collated, it has understood the context of the issue. It presents me the incident. Now, if this incident was raised because of an underlying netcool event, then it would even present those event details. It has gone and retrieved information from a CMDB. Typically, an L1 agent will not have access to a CMDB, but here, in a very controlled manner, Resolve has gone ahead and picked those details from the CMDB and has presented to the L1 agent, and everything seems to be good at that particular point. It has done some analytics with regard to how many times we have seen this failure in the past, and now in point number 2, it has validated or it has confirmed the reported issue. So typically, in if you talk about security incidents, there could be a lot of false positives. Here, it has identified that the error code is 404. Now, as an L1 agent, even if I do not understand the complexity of the underlying technology in terms of HTTP return code as 404, I could still look at this red color code at the right corner and understand that is my problem. But anyway, if you go down, this is pretty much what an L1 agent could do. But here, using Resolve, you could go and run some scripts at your network layer, at your database layer, and show you that all is good with regard to how it is, with regard to the underlying checks and balances that would be expected in a database or a network environment. Now I click on this particular link, and now Resolve is going to take me to the next level of guiding me towards a resolution. Now, now here you would find that on your left hand side there is a pane where there are two questions. Now the first question has been not just asked, but it has also been answered by Resolve automatically. Now let me see what the first question is. The first question is, which is the application that is experiencing the issue? Now in this case, Resolve has already understood that it is Tomcat, and you would see it has already identified it, and based on that it has already made a choice for you. If I go to the second question, it is asking me which issue you would like to address, and it gives me three choices: CPU, memory, or Java heap. At the same time, on the right hand side bottom, it has already identified the issue is with Java heap. Okay, now here the point is that Java, it depends on you how you want to, what level of automation you want to build in. In certain cases, you want to not just let Resolve carry the automation and decide on your behalf. In other cases, you may want Resolve to present the data and still would want you to make the choice, as in this particular case. So I would choose Java heap, and Resolve will now present me with the repair procedure. As you see, this repair procedure is typically not done by an L1 agent because it involves clusters, it involves waiting for sessions to die out. So as an L1 agent, I can just go and click the submit button, and Resolve will carry out those steps in the sequence that has been mentioned. Now if you look at the sequence, I need to have access to this particular server, which typically an L1 agent would not have. I would need to remove that particular web server from the cluster, wait for all its connections to die out, and as you see, we are waiting for all the connections to die out. It is now reduced from 14 to 6, but we would still need to wait till it comes to 0, and then we can proceed with the rest of the steps. So the point here is that these set of complex steps have been carried out by an L1 agent without giving away the password, or rather the key of the castle. It has been, you have enriched or enabled an L1 agent to make a decision in a very controlled manner, giving him only access to certain things, but not giving away logins and password credentials. So at this point, the web server is up and running, so I don't need to escalate the incident. I would rather want to resolve the incident. So I click this particular button, but the fact that I had the two choices was you still have a choice to make, and that's something that you have to define, where what level of choice you would like an L1 agent to have at all these milestones as he goes ahead to resolve this particular incident. So here I can mark this, I can add my notes, and I can resolve this particular incident, in which case Resolve would talk to ServiceNow and identify that ticket. I don't think I clicked the button again. Okay, and it would mark the incident as resolved. So if I come back to my ServiceNow incidents, you could see that the incident is now marked as resolved. Okay, so what have we done in this particular demo? What we have seen is that given a complex process as an incident resolution, you have enabled Resolve to guide you through multiple tiers of an application, giving you accurate data based on collation, and also presenting you with choices, in some cases making a choice on your behalf, but ensuring that you can carry out highly skilled repair procedures, which typically would not be possible by an L1 agent, but you have enriched him to make that choice in a very controlled manner. Thank you.